Did you know that the gut is your second brain? So there's something called the enteric nervous system, which is the nervous system of the gut. And at the school we're teaching this weekend, which is only weekend 3 for the year 1 students, it's so important to address the gut. Whether you've been diagnosed with ADHD and it's an issue for your health and well-being, so I'm not referring to neurodiverse and you're super functioning and doing really great. This is about people who are struggling, who can't focus, kids who can't sit still in school and therefore are requiring special attention, can be disruptive. We're looking at also maybe again on the neurodiverse spectrum, autism, how that's related to the second brain and how the health of our second brain is really important. Why else do we teach the brain in the second brain in weekend 3 is because the gut is the gateway to health. So we don't only focus on the microbiome. People tend to think, oh yes, gut equates microbiome. Microbiome is what I call where the party's at. So the party's at the microbiome, but there's a journey to get to the party. So the party might be down the street, everybody's getting ready to go to the party, but that party does not happen until the journey's happened. The journey begins with your nervous system and with your senses. So when we teach the nervous system, or when we teach the gut, we teach it together in conjunction with the nervous system because the gut does not work alone. So if you think of a scenario when you're stressed, or maybe you've got a presentation to do and you're feeling anxious, you're running to the loo, you've got loose bowels, or you might be feeling palpitations, butterflies in the stomach, that is your second brain. That's your brain in the gut picking up all your feelings, and the nervous system is literally holding that gut. So we don't just look at the gut, we also look at the nervous system. But when we also look at the gut, in the gut we've got the stomach, and further upstream we've got the chewing. How many people have enough saliva in their mouth? How many people struggle with a dry mouth? Struggling with a dry mouth is going to affect your microbiome further down below. Stomach acid, do you have enough stomach acid? Again, very common, people taking Gaviscon, children being put on omeprazole and Gaviscon at the same time. Some people who are taking a Ozempic are now taking Gaviscon whilst they're taking a Ozempic because their gut has slowed down and therefore they're experiencing acid reflux. There's so many effects from further upstream to down below to the microbiome. So in other words, the gut is not just about the gut and it's not just about the microbiome. We've got the liver. Gallbladder, how many people have their gallbladders removed and then are not advised how they can support that organ that now is missing? How do you get that bile into your gut when you have your meals? So the standard advice is gallbladder removed, go home, cut out fat, but fat is absolutely vital for vitamin A, D, E and K. Bile is also important as an antimicrobial. So if it's an antimicrobial, it's going to have an effect on your microbiome. If you don't have enough of the bile, not enough antimicrobial, you'll get an increase. All those what we call opportunistic bacteria, the ones that think, okay, time to party, and they're the naughty kids, they overgrow and then they start messing around. Then they create all sorts of health symptoms. So the bile from the gallbladder is really important. The bile is made by the liver, but it's stored in the gallbladder. So you might think, okay, I don't have a gallbladder, but that's okay, I still make bile if it's made by the liver. But you need that good dollop of bile when you have a meal. So you need the fat. It's not about remove your gallbladder, don't eat fat anymore, because as you age, you will start experiencing symptoms of fat deficiency. Vitamin D, how many people are taking vitamin D now in supplement form, in isolation, on its own, without the vitamin A, D, E and K? Fat-soluble vitamins all come together, they work together. Nothing in the body works in isolation. Vitamins do not work in isolation either. So we travel down from your mouth, from your nervous system, your mouth, and all the way down the gut, through the stomach, down into the intestine, and then down into the colon where you've got the microbiome. And of course the microbiome, the magic microbiome, is involved in so many illnesses, from heart disease, diabetes, mental health and well-being. We know that 90% of serotonin is produced in the gut and 50% of dopamine is produced in the gut. So important. This is why we teach the gut in weekend 3 in year 1, because it's so vital. We want to make sure this amazing gateway is very healthy before we look at anything else over the 2 years of the course.